Kendall Jenner, the prominent figure in the world of fashion and media, has recently shared intimate details about her personal life, particularly her approach to relationships and self-discovery. Having spent much of her 20s navigating a series of romantic partnerships, she now finds herself in what she describes as a me era. This phase represents a deliberate shift towards prioritizing her own needs and growth, a decision that came as she approached a significant age milestone. In a revealing podcast appearance, Kendall opened up about her feelings surrounding turning 30. At 29, she experienced what she called a crash out, a moment of intense reflection and perhaps anxiety about entering a new decade. This introspection led her to evaluate her past patterns in love. She acknowledged that her 20s were marked by consistent back-to-back relationships, some great and others less so. While she harbors no regrets about these experiences, she realized that they consumed much of her time and energy, leaving little room for solitary self-exploration. Kendall emphasized that there's nothing inherently wrong with being in relationships during one's 20s. In fact, she views them as valuable learning opportunities that shaped her understanding of love and partnership. However, upon reflection, she noted that she never truly had that decade to herself, to focus solely on her own desires, ambitions, and personal development without the influence of a romantic partner. This realization prompted a quiet commitment to change her approach as she stepped into her late 20s. As she turned 29, Kendall made a promise to herself, to embrace a year dedicated to me. This didn't mean closing herself off entirely to new connections. Rather, she vowed to remain open to possibilities that felt right and aligned with her well-being. But the core of this commitment was choosing herself first, cultivating independence, self-love, and a deeper sense of identity outside of relationships. It's an empowering stance that many can relate to, especially those who have found themselves in similar cycles of serial dating. For context within her own life, Kendall's romantic history includes notable connections that captured public attention. She was involved in an on-and-off dynamic with a professional basketball player for a couple of years, followed by a brief romance with a musician during a break from that relationship. After parting ways, she chose a period of singledom before rekindling with her former partner earlier in the year. These experiences, while publicly scrutinized, have contributed to her growth and current mindset. This me era signifies more than just a break from dating. It's a holistic investment in personal fulfillment. Kendall's decision reflects a growing trend among young adults to reclaim time for self-care amid societal pressures to couple up. By sharing this, she offers a glimpse into the vulnerabilities even high-profile individuals face, making her journey accessible and inspiring. Delving deeper, one can appreciate the emotional layers behind Kendall's choice. Turning 29 and anticipating 30 often triggers self-assessment. What have I achieved? What do I want next? For her, this meant recognizing the pattern of long-term relationships strung together with minimal breathing room. Each partnership, whether positive or challenging, taught lessons in communication, compatibility, and self-worth. Yet, the absence of solo time meant missing out on unfiltered self-discovery. Her podcast Confession highlights authenticity. Admitting to a crash-out shows humanity, countering the polished image often associated with her. This vulnerability encourages others to honor their own me eras, whether after breakups or during life transitions. Kendall's commitment involves staying receptive without forcing connections. It's a balanced approach, not rejecting love but not seeking it actively. This mindset fosters organic growth, allowing space for hobbies, career advancements, and friendships to flourish. Reflecting on her 20s, Kendall sees them as a whirlwind of experiences that built resilience. The great relationships likely provided joy and support, while the not-so-great ones offered clarity on red flags and boundaries. Together, they formed a foundation for her current phase. Publicly, her relationships have been under a microscope, adding pressure. Yet, she navigates this with grace, using her platform to discuss personal evolution. This transparency demystifies celebrity life, showing that everyone grapples with similar dilemmas. In embracing her me era, Kendall models self-prioritization. It's a reminder that personal eras can be transformative, leading to stronger future connections built on self-assurance.